Hey everyone, Che here, frequent Illinois commentator and mediocre Ganon. Welcome to PM's Legends of 3.6. Now that Project Plus has become the standard in most of North America's PM scene, the era of 3.6 has largely come to a close. So, inspired by Sabre's list of the greatest players in 3.6, and in an effort to help recap some of Project M's history, I'll be taking a look back at some of the competitors who define the past, present, and hopefully the future of Project M. But first, let's go over a bit of background. Over the last few months of 2019, Sabre collected data on every major tournament that happened between the release of 3.6 in 2015 and the final 3.6 major to date, Smash and Splash 5. After the data was collected, Sabre, Serb, and Pikmin came together to create their list of the best player of the 3.6 era. Now keep in mind that this list is subjective, and the data they use can be interpreted a multitude of ways. So, in the interest of transparency, they have chosen to make the data collected for this project publicly accessible. There will be a link in the description below to the data and the full list posted by Sabre. There you can find out more about the methodology used to rank the players in Sabre's full article. So, without further ado, let's get to our first player. The first player we're going to cover is Hungrybox. It's pretty easy to submit yourself as a standout player when you get 4th place at the 3rd biggest Project M tournament of all time. Hungrybox's relationship with PM has always been interesting, and his results reflect that. But, believe it or not, HBox was actually one of the best players in the world at one point. Project M version 3.0 took the Smash scene by storm. Gods and titans of every Smash game clashed in the one game that managed to unite the Smash community. After 3.0 gave way to 3.5, many top contenders stumbled and fell. But Clutchbox remained a relevant threat. Hungrybox seemed to thoroughly enjoy the game, and he offered vocal support pretty regularly. Just like the other Melee gods, he was a top contender in nearly every prior patch. In version 3.5, he won Texas Major Forte 2, where HBox had victories over mainstay Project M players like Sethlon and Oracle. But it wasn't until early on in version 3.6 where he hit the clear highlight of his Project M career at Paragon Los Angeles. At the time, Paragon Los Angeles was the largest Project M tournament of all time. It had big names like M2K, Junebug, Leffen, Thunder's Reign, Seagull Joe, Venom, Plup, Dakpo, Boyko, Jason Waterfalls, among so many others. So, naturally, the winner would have a strong argument for the best in the world status. Before finally falling victim to Mewtwo King of all players, Hungrybox tore through Jason Waterfalls, Lucky, iPunch Kids, and Professor Pro, who at the time was one of the best players in the world. And the best part was that he made it look easy.
Oh my god!
In 2016, he made some highlights for himself too, from beating Dakpo at Smash and Splash 2 to knocking Emu Killer and Switch into losers at Super Smash Con 2016. But 2016 was also the year where HBox began to struggle against the more diverse Project M cast. As the meta developed, he began to get left behind. He didn't practice the game because of his obligations to Melee. So, a year after his phenomenal run at Paragon LA 2015, his attendance began to slide. His next major wouldn't be until SNS 2, where he was upset by Marshall and Winners and inadvertently DQ'd himself for a 65th place finish. Or that's how it would have ended, but he actually ended up taking Ally's spot. Ally DQ'd himself, and it's just a long story, but he ended up placing 5th after he beat XYK and Dakpo. At Super Smash Con 2016, he actually managed to knock Emu Killer and Switch into losers. That year he also made an impressive run at EVO, where he landed 9th place after losing an extremely close set to Sosa and then getting knocked out of bracket by Marshall in losers. Another Game & Watch strikes again. Losing to Game & Watch repeatedly must have worn out the Melee god because, as the years went on, Hungrybox would often appear a bit irritated by some of the characters and losses he experienced. In 2017, he ended up placing 17th at the Bigger Bout, which was his worst placement in PM since Apex 2014. You guess what his losses were? He lost to Gab PR, another Game & Watch, and Emu Killer, who managed to get revenge from Super Smash Con 2016. His only other major that year was SNS 3. Everyone knows that Smash and Splash is a huge tournament every year. Except maybe this year. Still, SNS 3 was a legendary event where nearly everyone was present. Here, HBox actually made a bit of a run-through bracket, but he was sent to losers by Hyperflame, and in his losers set against Techboy, he actually quit out to place 9th. Since then, his entrances into PM have been a bit scant. The only other major of 3.6 that Hungrybox has attended was SNS 4, where he actually traded sets with Michigan player Frost and was eventually eliminated by Resliv in a really close set for 25th. Even though HBox has been a bit frustrated with Product M over the years, he actually has quite the stellar record. Hungrybox has served as a benchmark for PM players. Anyone capable of beating Hungrybox in Product M has been historically capable of so much more. During his peak results in 2015 and 16, Hungrybox showed that when he tried, he was among the best players in the world. His Project M legacy remains strong, as he was one of the Melee players who dominated the early days of Product M, and he earned his spot in its Hall of Fame.
What the what? Just what? 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 What?
Oh, what?
That was crazy.
I'll tell you what.